Hello everyone, Drew here for Drew Entertainment and from Drew Games, back with Breaking Rocks episode number 35 here on the channel on this fine Sunday afternoon. Thank you for joining us. If you are watching this after the fact, thank you for doing so as well. Shout out quickly to the YouTube channel JetSparks373 for having me on Talking Pinheads 11 yesterday afternoon. Thank you so much, Jet. And we're going to probably check out one of your things here on Breaking Rocks to properly give you your proper due as well. But on that note, on today's stream, you guys see the title and the thumbnail. Obviously, we're going to talk about YouTube updating the copyright claim system a little bit. And we'll get into the specifics of that and what that means and whether that's a good thing or not. Spoiler warning, I did already talk about this on Talking Pinheads yesterday, as well as a bunch of things that we got for today. We're also going to talk about how much AOC loves fucking handcuffs and how much she apparently fantasizes about her boyfriend slapping handcuffs on her. First Avenue Club cancels Dave Chappelle show because of a Change.org petition by left-wing extremists. No surprise that they hate him. And finally, we'll wrap things up with the biggest news in professional wrestling that I think I've ever seen, and that's Vince McMahon stepped down and retired from WWE and running the company amid sexual abuse allegations. But before all of that, joining me is the full team today. The one and the only Desert Nord. Hey, bro.
Hey there.
And up from his one of many naps is Joshy064. Hey, Josh.
What's up?
I know how you feel. I woke up like about 30 minutes before we went live here myself, so because I fell asleep like at 9 o'clock this morning, give or take. But as it is, we're going to start with AOC here because we're going to save YouTube for right before we talk about Vince. So AOC was protesting, I guess, outside the Supreme Court, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And her and a bunch of her cohorts and whatnot, in whatever the fuck nickname they have, the crew or the
squad.
The squad, okay. Yeah, they were apparently, I guess, holding up traffic or something. Cops told them repeatedly, please move, you're disrupting day-to-day life. And then they got escorted away.
That avenue there is not, I mean, it's federal property.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And they were escorted away. Not handcuffed, just escorted away. But enter AOC holding her hands behind her back, pretending she got handcuffed. And then saluting someone with a black power fist. And then putting her hands behind her back, going back to her stage show of being handcuffed. Anyone else get the feeling now that she just likes having handcuffs slapped on her, like she's some freak in the bedroom?
Well, maybe. But she desperately wanted the photo op, and the media, of course, was perfectly willing to oblige the photo op, and they were actually hoping that there wasn't going to be any secondary angles to prove that she wasn't handcuffed. They were hoping that it would just go as, well, she was handcuffed and hauled away, and woe was her, and we should all, cry for her stupid ass.
Well, first of all, I wish she had actually gotten slapped in handcuffs and thrown in jail, because it'd be funny.
Well, yeah, the thing was, though, when you're escorted from the scene, it's a lot different than being arrested.
Yeah.
And the media absolutely embellished the fucking shit out of this story.
Yeah.
To the point where if you were just a person who was a regular dumbass normie watching regular mainstream media, you would have thought, oh my God, they're arresting Congress people. But what it was the sporting. It was them saying, ma'am, we need to move you away from this. This is an unsafe scene. We realize you're a congresswoman. We need to get you away from here.
First of all, if they
And
were
she put her hands
arrested,
behind her back, and then after the scene took place, all that showman bullshit took place, she tried to argue that this was for her own safety. That when being detained, according to her, it's safer and regulation for her to put her hands behind her back this way, and it's something they told her to do, even though they weren't arresting, handcuffing her. And everyone was like, no, the fuck it isn't. They would have told you to put your hands on your head, not behind your back. Mm-hmm. You have pockets there. Mm-hmm. That's not safe for the officers.
First of all,
the whole thing is one stupid fucking show is what it is.
I will add this to what the mainstream media and how much they're blowing it out of proportion. I guess making the claim or whatever, as you said, that they're arresting Congress people. If I was watching that and if I believed anything the mainstream media fucking said anymore, I'd probably go, good, they fucking deserve it. They've been stealing from us for fucking ever.
Well, the thing, though, is that when it's Capitol Police, even if they were arresting Congress people, when it's Capitol Police, obviously we already know the Capitol Police are a bunch of biased assholes who only really arrest people for political reasons, and not actually because they've done something wrong.
Yeah.
But aside from that, the media wanted the narrative to be, oh, see, look at these brave people, leadership in your Democratic Congress, putting themselves on the line for your rights. And I'm just like, imagine being that retarded to believe that narrative.
AOC is not an actual politician. She is an she is an activist using the position of politician to try to get more likes and a bigger following on social media.
I thought you were going to say she was a bartender.
I would never buy a fucking drink from this woman.
No, I'm just saying. I thought you were going to say she's not a politician. She's a bartender.
No.
That would be an accurate statement.
No, if she weren't a politician, she'd probably be on Twitch in a fucking bikini.
Well, yeah, that Mac congresswoman is any indication.
But anyway, nothing that this woman does, says, or anything should be taken seriously, much less like her being the epitome of beauty. Fuck the hell off with that.
It's okay, though, because in the end, all of her dumb shit antics only serves to backfire and cause more people to not like the Democratic Party. So, proceed with the dumb fuckery as far as I'm concerned.
If you want a Latin booty that you can actually respect at the end of the day, or a Latino booty, as What's-His-Face was pointing out on his YouTube video. I don't remember the guy's name, but they were highlighting it on Friday Night Tights at the time.
Yeah, you're talking about Alex Stein.
Alex Stein, yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have in mind a completely different Latina with a booty that you can actually respect and admire. And that's Minority Home, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Just saying. And if that makes me a Minority Home simp, then so be it. I don't give a fuck because it's just a name.
In any case, the basic point you're making is correct. We've got plenty to look at. We don't got to look at that dumb draw.
Yeah, and we got plenty to look at that actually has character and personality, which makes her even more attractive. In the case of Minority Home.
If you lit one of AOC's ears on fire and blew in the other side of her head, the flame would go out. There's so little in there.
I was wondering where you were going with if you light one of her ears on fire, only one?
No, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
The air just goes right through.
I wasn't sure where you were going at first because you only lit one ear on fire.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. But anyway, Joshy, anything you want to add about any of this before we get to Dave Chappelle's situation?
Possibility they did this on purpose, and it's just like they're trying to
get
somewhere else,
or trying to get sympathy, which they aren't going to get any.
Yeah, you're aware of media narratives, Joshy.
Yeah,
and we will get to other media narratives in just a little bit. Something that we didn't advertise that we'll be talking about, but. On that note, First Avenue Club cancels Dave Chappelle show because of a Change.org petition by fucking widows.
Yeah.
Claim.
They're fascists is what they really are.
Yeah, they are. Meanwhile, he got a different venue, and guess what? First Avenue, any ticket sales you had that you gave up by canceling the event, that other venue fucking got your fucking money that you would have gotten for the Dave Chappelle show. So congratulations. And as I said on Talking Pinheads yesterday, as I was saying before the controller turned off, as I was saying on Talking Pinheads 11 yesterday on Jet Sparks channel, congratulations, First Avenue Club. You've given yourself an expiration date, whether you know it or not. As the saying goes,
Yeah.
and Nord and Joshua will attest to this, get woke, go out of business.
exactly.
Yeah.
So First Avenue is not long for this world, and whatever place that Dave Chappelle wound up going to for the show that he was supposed to do at this place, they're going to get some more business in the future, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say the whole thing about this is so stupid for these even the trans activists to be mad at Dave still. It's like, how much more does Dave have to explain to you that he actually cares about you people? How much does he have to explain to you that he's on your side? How much does he have to do for your community? For God's sakes, he literally brought a transgender person from depression out of depression, and you assholes brought them back.
And that person even opened for him.
Yeah, I know. And then ended up committing suicide because of their bullshit.
And yet they're going to claim that they or whatever did that because of him. Watch.
Yeah, it's just amazing to me that they think that what Dave is doing is hurting them, but even though they themselves are hurting themselves constantly. Like, maybe let jokes be jokes, guys. Maybe understand that the general public will accept you more if we're able to laugh with you and not always at you, or not laugh at all because you get mad at us. Like, that's not healthy unless we're able to make jokes here.
Yeah.
It's not a healthy society if nobody can make jokes about anything.
Right.
It's not. So Dave just keeps on getting abused. And well, I mean, if I were Dave, I would have been red-pilled long ago. But,
Well, I'm still black-pilled on politics and voting and shit, so.
No, I know. But on First Amendment issues, freedom of speech.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, because I still stand by the Constitution like I always have.
Dave correctly and very understandably at this point, is his career where his man's name is world renowned. Okay, this comedian Dave Chappelle is known a planet over.
Yeah.
Everyone knows his name. Everyone knows his career. Everyone has laughed at least once at what this man has done. Everybody finds him to be one of the funniest comedians probably to ever live. All right, but yet you have this tiny segment of society. Even among the trans people, it's a smaller segment. And they always just get their way with regular society because we're all scared of offending people still. It's like if you're offended by a joke, grow up. That's always been true. It's still true. It's not going to serve society. And every time we do it, it's a shame. It's not going to serve society to censor people who offend people. If you're offended, you should be. There's a reason for that if you're offended. Because it's probably true.
And if you're offended, there's something you could do. You can change the channel or turn off your TV or whatever.
Like we talked about. If you're offended, you deserve to be. And if you're not offended, there's no problem.
Yeah.
So either way, fuck off.
That's along the lines of fuck everything.
Well, it's along the lines of First Amendment is not a terminal issue. It is a immutable right. It is something that we are all owed.
Yeah.
Right? And if your argument is that certain speech is violence, then you've already crossed over into the denying that right. With your argument.
Speech isn't violence unless you're a dragon in Skyrim.
No, violence is violence. Violence should be met with self-defense. If violence occurs, self-defense should be what we focus on. If speech occurs, violence is not related to that. Now, again, anyone committing violence should be met with defense. Strong defense, as strong as possible. All acts of violence should be met with defense.
And talking about violence is a good segue to the next topic.
Oh, yeah. That actually reminds me of another one I'll bring up at the end of this.
Yeah. Podcast. But Josh's thoughts first on First Avenue canceling Dave Chappelle thing. Josh?
Just that, like, what is it? It seems like every time Dave Chappelle pops up, they always seem to attack him and whatnot, though. It's just kind of sad. It's like, kind of do like Dave Chappelle and like some of his older movies and whatnot that were pretty funny, though. It's just, I wish it would just like stop and just get along, you know?
I pointed this out recently at the store at work to one of my coworkers. It feels like in our society right now, like society is the Titanic. And there's not enough lifeboats for everybody. So what's our society doing? Shoving all the black people in the lifeboats and blacks only. Everyone else can go down with the ship. That's what this feels like right now.
I would say it's the Titanic, except there aren't any lifeboats.
Except for they're not even putting all of the black people in the lifeboats. It's just the certain ones that agree with them. And then if you ask some of these white liberals to get out to save actual black people, are like, oh, God, no, I ain't going down the ship because I'm a good person. That's what all this feels like to me, folks.
But they're the fucking iceberg, though.
Yeah. Yeah, they are.
They represent the fucking iceberg in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason the ship is even going down.
Yeah. But as you were talking about violence earlier, the situation with the BLM protesting, I don't remember the fucking culprit's name, and I don't want to mention on stream because I'm not going to give them their 5 minutes of fucking fame here. But they were shot and killed in a standoff with police when they, I guess, according to the reports, they were shooting at random houses, right?
Well, it wasn't that. It was that the guy knew the woman that was inside the place that he was shooting into. He was trying to kill her and her kid. And he did know her.
Okay, so it's
And-
even worse than I thought.
Yeah, it was personal.
Then that makes how I feel about these protesters even stronger at this point because
And he holed himself up inside, and police came, and there was a standoff for like 6 hours. And in the end, he tried to start shooting again, and they shot him down.
and this woman confronted these protesters, yelling at them that they're praising the name of a criminal and someone who is trying to kill her and her kids and scarring them for life, right?
Yeah.
But what do these assholes respond to her with? In their in their defense, you're still alive.
Yeah, because she didn't have the right to live. Only the guy who was committing acts of violence did. He's the one that had the right to live, not her.
First of
That's
all,
the fucking logic.
if you want to talk about speech that actually harms people, here you go from these BLM jackasses.
Well, I mean, they have the right to say whatever they want to say, but we have the
Yeah,
right
they
to
do.
tell them you're fucking stupid.
But also in their speech, they're defending people who actually do harm to people. So their speech is actually doing more harm than any good to anyone.
They are dancing the line, almost aiding and abetting if he were still alive. But
Yeah,
he is dead, so
yeah,
it's a settled matter in that regard.
yeah,
But the fact that they feel the need only solely because of his race, literally no other aspect is taken into account by these people. No other aspect of the situation is taken into account by these people. Only his race, only the fact that the police shot him. That's all they care about. They don't care about any other details. They don't care that he absolutely deserved this. They don't care that he absolutely forced the police's hands. They don't care that he was absolutely threatening the lives of the general public. They don't care about any of that. Somehow, the only thing that matters to them is his race and the fact that the police shot him.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna speak just for myself here, but I stand with the woman and her 2 kids. So
Yeah, and so does every non-asshole, rational human being on this earth.
Joshy, anything you want to add to any of this?
I stand with the woman.
Yeah, and more specifically, like this is a situation where you can actually say the police did everything they could. They tried to negotiate with him for 6 fucking hours. Well, I mean, clearly this was a psycho.
Yeah,
This is a guy who was not safe to be in society. So he either was going to be locked away after what he did here, or shot down, and he chose to get shot down. That was his choice. He's not a victim. He's the perpetrator.
yeah. This woman and her kids are the victims, and we will always stand with actual victims, not what the mainstream media claims are fucking victims.
Yeah.
But I
And
digress.
everybody in the street that was protesting in his favor are clowns. Just absolutely, you guys all might as well have come wearing clown makeup. You're clowns.
Speaking of clowns, Vincent Kennedy McMahon. In recent years, he's been a clown of the wrestling industry with micromanaging stupid bullshit on national TV on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown, in my personal opinion, with the writing of the shows. But recently, he has retired from WWE altogether. This is no storyline. This is not just. This is actually him retiring amid sexual abuse allegations and paying people hush money to shut up. So bribing people too. I'll throw it to Joshy first, and then I'll throw it to Nord. So, Joshy, your thoughts on Vince McMahon leaving amongst all this controversy, and I guess leaving the company to his daughter at this point?
No comment because I do not know. I think I heard the name before though, but like as of the situation, I don't know. I became a
Nord? Your thoughts before I go into anything about Vince?
Well, I thought the topic was Vince.
Well,
anyway,
yeah. Well, I'm gonna be talking about what this means for WWE, though.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I can really say about the Vince McMahon leaving situation is that it was sort of inevitable once all of this sort of, avalanched against him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was basically either going to have to give it up like this, or have it taken from him. So I suppose
or potentially risk WWE effectively overall being affected by all this and going down with him, which I know he didn't want. Which
he built the organization over the years, and I mean, obviously, he didn't want to see his own selfishness.
Technically, his father and his grandfather did, and he just took it into a global powerhouse. Is what he did.
We would be correct to say that he took it from, a cultural side bet to a standard.
Yeah.
Now, that's not to say that he did everything right. Obviously, he did a lot wrong.
Yeah.
That's why we're here in this particular situation.
Yeah.
But he really needed to go. So I think he knew that at a certain point, and he just decided, you know what, I'll just do that then.
Yeah. So on that note, Stephanie, his daughter, I guess, is the new CEO and chairwoman of WWE, running the show. But she's married to Triple H, which, if any of you guys who are watching this after the fact, or you nor Joshy, I know, don't watch NXT at all, but over the years, Triple H had turned NXT into a third brand, effectively, akin to Raw and SmackDown, competing with a debuting company like All Elite Wrestling, and which sparked a Wednesday Night War at the time for a couple of months until AEW overtook them. Then they moved NXT to Tuesdays and kept it on the USA Network. But Vince since removed Triple H from that, rebranded it NXT 2.0, and it just turned into a fucking circus. But NXT 2.0 has since gotten a little better since I watched it like the last couple of weeks, but that I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on with Vince or not, but one can only hope. And I can only hope that this will actually mean that Raw and SmackDown will actually be good wrestling entertainment on TV again for the first time in, 10 fucking years at this point? As far as I'm concerned. Which will mean that if WWE is good and NXT is good, and AEW is still AEW, there's going to be 4 fucking shows for you to pick from on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. A week filled with wrestling, folks. Of decent wrestling, if my hope actually is founded with Vince being gone now. Because like I said, Triple H, who knows how to do wrestling shows, because he's a future Hall of Fame wrestler himself, the game Triple H, I wonder if you guys know who Triple H is.
Yes, I do.
Joshy?
Nope.
Not surprised. Joshy lives under a rock. Actually, Joshy sleeps under a rock.
Triple H's return is hailed as a big move. Yes.
Yeah. So hopefully it's finally time to play the game in creative. Just saying.
Yeah.
And like Triple H, Drew, also like to play the game. I'm just saying. But sometimes the game plays me. Look no further than Red Dead Redemption 2, but still. But on that note, Nord, you had something you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, I do have a couple of things.
Yeah.
I'll start with one I didn't mention yet.
All right.
Last Sunday. All right. Well, basically, while we were doing our podcast last week, there was a situation that occurred at Greenwood Park Mall in Greenwood, Indiana. And it was a young man who will not be named who brought an AR-15 to the mall to try and hurt people. Sometime shortly before the afternoon, he started opening fire, on people with his gun. Well, not more than 120 seconds later, after the beginning of the gunfire, a second individual decided to pull his handy dandy 9mm. That individual was a 22-year-old man we will name here, named Eli Dickett. He fired 10 shots from 30 yards away, which is 90 feet, same distance from home plate to first base in a baseball field. He hit the suspect 8 times out of 10 shots.
It's pretty good.
And downed him before he could injure more than a couple of people. And I just wanted to mention all this because it's really, really nicely relevant. And I think Eli's a fucking hero. And I don't know how you could dispute that other than being a dumbass, other than saying some dumb shit. Eli is a fucking hero. He saved lives, probably dozens of lives. And he reacted quickly. He fired like an absolute warrior. I mean, this guy would have been, with that level of accuracy from that distance, this guy would have been Army quality marksman.
The reason that I'm going to ask this question will make sense in just a minute. Fuck.
The book turned off again?
Yeah. The reason that I want to ask this question to you, Nord, will make sense in just a couple of minutes. Trust me.
Okay.
Is either one, either the perp or the, you said his first name is Eli?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is either one of them black?
No, there wasn't anyone that was black in this situation.
Damn it. Because I wanted to, because I wanted to virtue signal in the opposite way against the fucking fascists. Because
the news media is focusing on his possession of the gun in a no-gun zone, a mall that forbid gun possession. Like, yeah, what about the shooter? What about him? Why don't you bitch about him? You know, the fact that he was breaking the law to begin with.
The only way this could be funny is if it was a fake woke white liberal shooting a fake woke white liberal at this point.
Would these and by the way, I should also point out his girlfriend, who I don't know the name of, but I do know that she decided to jump in and help a victim, at least one, if not more than one, put on a tourniquet, and she also saved lives in that situation, not just him.
So shout out to Eli's girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two are just fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to Eli, man, probably dozens of lives saved. And so,
yeah,
we always like to give props to the heroes of our society, and Eli Dickett is damn sure one of them. And
his girlfriend. As Tom said in the music video names, behind every successful man is a successful woman. And this case is no different.
Yeah.
Behind a brave man was a brave woman in this case.
Yeah. But yes, the news media is having panic attacks and conniptions that anyone saw this, and I guess they were hoping that the police were the only ones to have guns in this situation because they think that's logical and reasonable, even though we just fucking watched Uvalde play out the way it did.
Yeah.
Anyway, very infuriating. But the point I would make is...
Meanwhile, how many shootings happening in Texas where people are allowed guns? Not many.
It's good fucking people with handguns that stop bad people with guns.
Exactly.
It's not the fucking cops. It's not fucking osmosis. It's not God coming down from the sky. It's another person who is not trying to kill people, who stops them.
Which, as it turns out, a lot of these weirdos don't even like God either. Just saying.
Well, no, of course not. But my point is that all the arguments against people having guns are completely defeated by reality. Every chance that we get to see this play out, the only times it's a grand tragedy, aside from Uvalde, which was a bunch of pussy cops, is where no one else had a gun.
Yeah.
When you got, if you had that mall, and this was actually a situation where, again, a guy with a gun was very close by when this started happening, and he put an end to it. Okay, that's the society I want to live in. I want to live in a society where anyone that tries some shit gets gunned down quicker. That's what I want to live in. I don't want to live in a society where the only people that have a gun are the assholes that are trying to kill random people. I don't want that. Because that's the society that gun laws creates.
Yeah.
You know.
I will
everyone in that mall should have been packed. Every single fucking person in that mall should have been packed.
Agreed. And I do want to add this and turn.
And it was good that Eli was there.
And I want to turn a left-wing talking point on them at this point with this situation. Yeah. Follow the science. In this case, though, lead science.
Yes. The only thing that people who decide to bring guns to the mall to hurt innocent people deserve is, clearly the chest.
And as far as I'm aware, lead is in the periodic table, so.
And I am not concerned with who provides those two to the chest.
But I stand by the periodic table joke.
Yeah.
Joshy, anything?
Anyway, there was more topics you were going to get on it. Joshy has nothing to say.
Joshy, anything you want to add to any of that?
I think I kind of heard the story, like news flies and whatnot, though.
Yeah.
Just like, all this BS shooting.
Oh, Nord, I think you wanted to talk about football, right?
Sure, yeah, that was another story I wanted to bring up, yeah.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, I guess, are canceling them out of the NFL, canceling themselves out of the NFL season.
They're being dumb like they always do.
They're being dumber than the Minnesota Vikings in the early 2000s, which is saying something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because look what the Vikings did in the early 2000s and whatnot.
Yeah, they're missing draft picks just because you didn't get it in time. Yeah, just great guys.
Your franchise quarterback goes down with a knee injury. You bring him back too soon, and he's not the same, i.e. Dante Culpepper.
Sure.
When and why in the hell did Randy Moss leave the fucking Vikings in the first place?
Because they didn't want to pay the man.
God damn it.
But anyway,
and the Christian Ponder.
the Vikings' past history is a shame, of course, but the topic is the Browns today.
Yeah. Between trading 3 first-round draft picks for a guy who shouldn't play for you ever, in my opinion, but is, I guess, suspended for like the first half of the year, I guess.
Well, it's at least 2 weeks, if not 8, somewhere between that.
Who the hell is running the NFL? Monty Python?
Well, they haven't decided yet, but they know what the stipulations dictate.
You're suspended for 2 weeks. 8, sir. 8.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or 8 weeks.
Yeah,
two, sir.
They'll be losing this guy they just traded all these wonderful picks for
And paid all this
They're gonna be
money.
leaving him for at least a couple of weeks of the season.
And what do? Do they go try to get Cam Newton to see if they can turn him into Cam of old?
After having wasted so much money and so many picks on Deshaun, they didn't have any left. They didn't have money, so they had to scrounge.
Well, first of all, the New England Patriots gave Cam Newton a 1-year contract for only $1 million.
Sure, which is what they've now done with Josh Rosen.
Which is the NFL equivalent of me working for less than minimum wage in the NFL.
Well, I don't know if I'd call $1 million for one season of football to be minimum wage, but
well,
it's not.
In comparison to what most players make in the NFL, is what I'm talking about here.
Well, if you're on the practice squad, you don't make more than about 125.
But I'm talking about active, potentially starting quarterbacks in the NFL here, which is what we're talking about.
Sure. For a starter, yeah, that's pretty darn bottom dollar for a quarterback starter.
Yeah, but Josh Rosen is who they wound up getting. He was drafted by the Arizona Cardinals, had little to no talent around him. The biggest talent he had was Larry Fitzgerald, I think, at the time still, right?
Yeah.
And he did nothing with him. He sucked. And was cast off the team, bounced around the league, became a journeyman. But first he went to the Miami Dolphins, who also, akin to the Cardinals the year before for Josh Rosen, had little to no talent. Actually, on the offensive ball, as it turned out, he even had less talent than the Cardinals. He did just about as bad and was done, I guess, after one season.
Yeah, the Browns are not going to be very well served by this situation. I mean, unless they happen to get a miracle and Deshaun's only out 2 weeks and it hardly matters, they already have basically screwed their season with this whole situation.
Do the Browns still have a decent running back?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Because if they have that, then they have as much talent as the Cardinals did when the Cardinals drafted him, and more talent than the Dolphins did when they signed him.
Yeah, they have Nick Chubb. He's not bad. And, I mean, there's some other talent around for sure.
So it's maybe on par, maybe a little bit better than the Arizona situation, but still.
It's just that how far do teams get? How far do teams get with no real quarterback? Because that's what they're going to have without Deshaun there.
Well, that's what we thought happened to the Titans when they picked up Ryan Tannehill, but he surprised us.
Well, yeah, of course. But, I mean, aside from Josh suddenly becoming, legendary out of nowhere, they're going to struggle.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, what does the defensive side of the ball do when they know you have a vulnerable quarterback and you're going to be relying on your running back for almost every play? What do? Well, they block the run.
And all of this brings up another thought. When the time comes that they have to try to re-sign their top running back, Chubb, they're not going to be able to now, right?
Well, I mean, it's going to be, again, they're going to have challenges because they decided to stack all this money on Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Put all your eggs into a basket that isn't going to be there for a little while.
Just like we always talk about with the most infamous, with Albert Hainsworth, you can't stack too much money on one guy,
Yeah.
Because it's a waste, and you'll end up shorting other players, other positions.
Unless he's Tom Brady.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady can carry the whole fucking team, though.
Yeah. Look what he did with the Patriots when Gronk wasn't there. He was basically retired. And Julian Edelman largely wasn't Julian Edelman yet, if he was even there yet.
I mean,
and Brady had like a bunch of like journeyman players around him, and he still went to the AFC Championship.
Tom Brady could take a team of 10 ninth graders to the championship game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, against an NFL team.
He could take the women's U.S. soccer team to the AFC Championship game.
I'm just saying, he makes the whole team dramatically better.
Yeah.
All right, so he's a not fair comparison here
Yeah.
because you don't have anyone of that caliber. Even if you say, okay, Deshaun is great, okay, he's great. He's not Tom Brady great. All right, he's not carrying the whole fucking team great.
As a football player, Deshaun Watson is one of the better quarterbacks out there. As a person, he's probably a scumbag.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of trust in. See, I feel like he might be a guy who did well, but isn't going to do well elsewhere. I feel like Deshaun is a guy where we don't know. I feel like he's a wild card pickup for the Browns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like he's like they think he's an ace in the hole, but he's actually a complete question mark.
He's a joker.
You know, I don't think this ends well for the Browns, but we'll see.
Yeah. Joshy, anything you want to add to any of this, if anything at all?
No, the Browns don't like Browns.
At first, I thought you just said, go Browns, I don't like the Browns. Well, you can't have it both ways. But was there anything else, Nord?
No, well, I mean, I don't think I was going to. Oh, wait, I was going to mention one other thing, but we can save it for the very end if you have anything else.
Well, we are going to check out a video from Jet's channel. I haven't decided what yet, but I do want to plug the stream that he's going to be doing on Tuesday at noon Central Standard Time. SWAT Cats, the Radical Squadron, Why I Love It. So he's going to be talking about SWAT Cats.
Oh, yeah, we always love that one.
Oh, yeah. So I'll be watching that stream myself. But let's see. While I'm searching on his channel for something interesting, which everything is borderline interesting with him. Anything you guys want to bring up while I'm looking?
Disney has been in just garbage right now. They are having like more fights and whatnot, though. In their parks, they would have their logs actually not fixing their logs because like they said it was like the third log that actually started the fight. Also, the thing that was the fairy godmother's in training or whatever. How they are making it. I guess gender neutral or something like that. They're calling it.
Yeah, they're turned into apprentice instead of godmother.
No, instead of a training.
Yeah, in training. Apprentice. Yeah.
Also,
And,
Disney also.
Yeah.
They also what is it? They took out Walt Disney's famous speech on their anniversary.
Yeah, and you probably also saw, Josh, that situation with that mom with the kids that the performer decided to not pick up her hug or whatever and just walked away, and the mother's like literally suing Disney for racial discrimination.
I didn't see that one. I saw the Sesame Street one.
And then Disney was like, "We tell our dressed up costume people that they're not supposed to actually pick up and hug your children because we've had lawsuits against our employees in the past for touching people's children. So we've decided to have a park-wide policy of not doing that anymore." And this mother was like, "No, you don't. You were racist." And she's suing them about it. It's really hilarious. It's stupid. The whole fucking thing.
Yeah, I think I found something that's worth checking out as far as I'm concerned. Jet plays Duck Game on PS4, 4th of July, Monday Madness Special Part 2. So we're going to check that out here.
Yep.
So it looks like he's also streaming directly from the system like I generally do. Let's fast forward a bit. Here we go.
Let's go to 50. And let's reset that. Let's reset it every 10.
So shout out to Jetplex 373 is the name of his channel. Yeah. Go subscribe, follow to him, and check out Talking Pitheads every Saturday on his channel. But while that's playing in the background, we can keep talking too. So.
Yep.
Let's put on Star Wars Feud and
But yeah.
Turtles collection just came out, and it's going to be coming out August.
Yeah. Jet is a good guy, so yeah, I encourage all of you guys to go subscribe and go watch his content. And he hates all of the shit that we hate at this point. Probably a little more than I do. He's somewhere between the balance that I generally try to be and Joshy.
Oh, yes, Josh is the extremist here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Joshy's the extreme. Then you got so I guess technically it's kind of like Joshy's the extremist over here saying fuck every other word about everything. Then there's Jet, who is not actually swearing, but he feels the same way.
Well, we gotta give Joshy credit. That was just Disney.
That's true.
I mean, he's not always doing that.
Well, on camera.
Yeah.
But Joshy, Jet, me, and then there's Nord on the other side of me who's just like, do whatever you want, I don't care.
Well, I care. It's just that I try to make salient. I try to make salient points about things. You know.
Yeah.
I try to have reasonable arguments or whatever.
Or maybe it's all of you that are in between Joshy and I. Joshy, then Jet, then Nord, then me, because actually, now that I think about it, I'm the one sitting back going, do whatever you want, I don't care.
You may remember.
Everything's fucked anyway.
You may remember, bro, last year I had a ranting into Disney myself.
Yeah, that's true.
You remember, I was talking about, I said, this company is truly evil, and every one of you employees to have any sense of self-respect and leave the company at this point before it's too late.
So then,
get the hell out.
So then you're saying that I'm the subdued one.
Well, I mean, no, not necessarily. I don't think any of us are subdued, but...
Well, some more than others.
We'll just say I picked my cuss words carefully.
Well, I'm going to throw a first century curse word at Disney. They're a bunch of vipers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which actually is a curse word that actually Christ used. So I'm quoting Jesus on this one.
Yeah.
But we can also quote Obi-Wan. You'll find no more wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of what you'll find on Jet's channel.
Unless you go over to Reddit.
Yeah, and then find people complaining about Jet. So.
No, I mean, I think you'll find a bigger hive of scum and villainy over on Reddit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about the only one that's bigger.
Because Jet gets as much hatred apparently as Joshy does. So if Joshy's a face of white supremacy, I guess Jet is too then, which is weird to say. Because if you guys are familiar with Jet and know what he looks like, you'll understand why it's funny to say that Jet is a face of white supremacy. Huh?
Sure. Like that silly argument they try to make about Larry Elder.
and Ripa.
Oh yeah,
No.
completely.
So shout out to the Ripaverse. He's up over $3 million, right?
Oh yeah. The guy is absolutely big time now. I mean, there's no stopping him now.
Yeah.
Well, PayPal.
Even though PayPal's fucking trying.
Yeah.
Those assholes are literally breaking the law, but they seem to think it's fine.
Yeah. So, Joshy, do you have any topics that you want to bring up?
No, just that what is that? Triple P, the collection that I'll probably get. It's coming out in August, I believe.
There's another Turtles game coming out.
Yeah, it has like all the old Turtles games, like Turtles 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's like a Masters collection, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Masters collection, and it also has the Brawler one too. I was surprised by that.
Yeah, a lot of the Turtles fans are like really ecstatic about that.
I don't even know how much it is, but I just checked it up on the store and it's not available yet. So you can't.
Yeah.
Apparently, something obvious stuff. John Wick 4 had a trailer just came out.
Yeah, they call it the Cowabunga collection, right?
Yeah,
Looks like it's $40.
Hmm.
that's a good deal. All those games.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is a good deal.
Especially for Phil TMNT.
Yeah.
The John Wick trailer.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the duck game here that Jet's playing?
Oh, classic arcade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be interesting. I mean, it just looks really classic, you know.
We still got to play Rubber Bandits.
Yeah, we do.
What are you guys doing Tuesday nights? Nord?
Well, I would think probably 6 o'clock would be a safe amount or safe time for me.
Okay, so 6 p.m. your guys' time? Okay, so
Yeah,
6.
could
So
work.
sometime about 8 p.m. for me then. All right. Let's try to see if we can hook up and try to start a stream sometime a little after that then.
Yeah.
Or sometime about that time. 6 p.m. for
Yeah,
you
no,
and 8 p.m. for me.
I know it's a fun game, that's for sure.
Because we've been meaning to do that for like a month now. If not
Yeah.
more. And watching Jet play this reminded me that we've been meaning to play Rubber Bandits. I don't know why, because I haven't seen what Rubber Bandits even looks like yet.
It's actually a lot like Gang Beasts, I mean, realistically.
Yeah, the last time I remember playing that, I threw you off a lighthouse.
Yeah, it's fun times.
Which, as I pointed out on Talking Pinheads, that's up on your channel, because I was plugging your guys' channel yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Even though I believe I said generally Joshy does like one stream like a year, and he just unboxes something.
Yep, still waiting for my life at work. 4 by 8 one of them. Well, I got 2 of them, but one of them is supposed to be the next 2 months, I guess.
And Nord just generally just makes memes on his channel.
Up till now, so yeah.
Two
Fair.
and 2 of which were about me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't the Gang Beast one wasn't just about you. It was kind of more making fun of myself than making fun of you.
True. But
I'm the one
still,
that died.
you died? I just thought I made you take a bath.
No, you threw me off the lighthouse. You threw me off the lighthouse.
Into a body of water. I was trying to make you take a bath. I wasn't trying to kill you. I was telling you you stink and you need a bath.
Yeah.
But then the other one is actually just me just flying into shit. Like I do in every flying games.
Skills. Heroic piloting skills, but not against the right enemy.
Yeah, which is worse than my skills in a Souls game.
Uh-huh.
It gives me an idea. Jet yesterday was showing off his lack of skills in Bloodborne and in Souls games. And it kind of has me thinking, maybe I should try playing Bloodborne on the gaming channel again.
Well, I think it's pretty dangerous whenever it's like flying around.
Because I still have that installed on the PS4, so. For the 4 of you in the chat, let me know if you guys want to see me trying to play Bloodborne on the main channel on YouTube. That being Drew Deck Games on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, the panel wants me to play it.
I remember that ladder meme, which was funny. A lot of people got to see that.
Red Hood says yes. Thank you for being here, Red Hood.
Yep.
I guess that settles it. It's unanimous so far against me. I'm playing Bloodborne soon. Again. Which I'd rather do than play fucking Elden Ring, I'll tell you that right now. Because at least in Bloodborne, I know what I'm fucking in for. In the case of Elden Ring, and I know I'm going to get flagged for fucking hating Elden Ring, but I don't care. It's my opinion, and that's just the way it is. Elden Ring makes you feel like it's an action-adventure game. Well, sorry, it's a Souls game trying to be an action-adventure game. But it makes you feel like it's an action-adventure game trying to be a Souls game, which it's not. It's the opposite. And it's a little misleading. Because it starts out having you feel like, okay, I got out of this cave. I'm going to go explore a little. I'm going to go have a good time. I'm going to level up the character. I'm going to do the RPG element things to it with the leveling up system, right? Nope.
And then you die.
Yeah, you find one random person on a fucking horse-looking thing, and then one swing and you're dead.
Yeah.
And then you go back to wherever the last campfire or whatever it was that you saved at.
Yes, and then you respawn, you take your steps, and you die.
Yeah.
And then you respawn again, and you take another step, and you die.
And then if for some odd reason you get by whoever keeps the character that keeps killing you, and you get to an area, there's this giant wagon with this giant fucking monster pulling it, and a bunch of like tough-looking enemies like right behind it. And you're like, I ain't fucking with that. I'm staying in stealth mode right here until they fucking move. That's
and on your 18th respawn, you die instantly.
For me, that's the same reaction that I had to that wagon with the giant thing pulling it was the same reaction that you would have had to giants in Skyrim back in 2011 when you saw them for the first time. Let's not fuck with them in the mammoths. Let's do that like at level like 80 or something.
And then pretty soon you just turn the game on, and in the main title screen it just says you died.
Yeah, that's all Souls games, but that's mostly Elden Ring, which, as it turns out, is probably the toughest fucking
I don't know
Souls
if the
game in
audio is
existence.
capable of detecting my sarcasm.
Yeah. But I'm not saying Elden Ring isn't one of the best games of the year. In fact, it's the best of the first half of the year, as we said last week. But I still fucking hate the fucking game. But I'm going to try to play Bloodborne soon because I can actually tolerate playing that. So, to a certain degree. But as it is, Josh, do you have anything coming up that you're doing, or are you not going to be doing anything other than sleeping? Yeah. Nord, anything you?
Try to do something.
Yeah. What are you gonna try to do?
I'll try to do something. I don't know.
Okay. Nord, are you gonna be trying to do anything anytime soon?
Well, you had mentioned you wanted to do the Is It Worth It 3SO.
Yeah, we're gonna film that right after this, and then
Other than that, I just do my usual. I am sort of in the hunt for some new games to play. So,
Well, we could probably talk to you about that soon.
yeah.
But as for me, as Nord said, we're going to film Is It Worth It? I think number 21. That's for Elden Ring. Right after we get done with this. Fuck. Elder Scrolls Online, yeah. Not Elden Ring.
If it were Elden Ring, you'd be like, nope.
Because we did that on the gaming channel on the Drew That Games podcast when we were still doing that, I believe. So.
Yeah.
But as it is, once again, shout out to Jet Sparks 373 on YouTube. And thanks, Jeff, for having me on Talking Pinhead yesterday. Something that I'm going to continually try to do with you whenever I see that you have an open mic Talking Pinheads. Because evidently I was the only one there with him, and if I hadn't shown up, then it would have been just him on camera. Just watching shit. So, if you would automatically say no, Drew, if it were Elden Ring. Well, first of all, Red Hood, on the main channel, you can find my video that was pulled directly from Twitch in its entirety of me actually quitting playing Elden Ring live on Twitch at that point. That
rage quitting.
Well, it wasn't a rage quit. It was just, I was just quitting.
Yeah.
I wasn't mad about it. I wasn't happy about it. I just didn't care. Even though that's probably not the tone in the video, though.
Yeah.
But as it is, but that's on the main channel on YouTube. But as I said earlier, we're going to do Is It Worth It or film it, and then it will be uploaded to the Drew That Games YouTube channel, which is the main channel here on YouTube right after we get done filming that. So, and that will be about Elden Ring, because Nord wants to talk about that.
You mean, you keep saying Elden Ring.
Fuck. Elder Scrolls Online, fuck. We're going to be talking about Elder Scrolls Online, which is apparently Nord's favorite game.
Elden Ring has free rent in your mind, okay?
Just like Geeks and Gamers and Ripa and Jet and Joshi have free rent in people's minds, too. But as it is, it's not so much that I would automatically say no, Red Hood, is I would need more alcohol than the liquor store has to agree to it. Is what I'm saying. But on that note, this was Jet playing Duck Game from 2 weeks ago. Which reminds me, leave a like on it. And once again, shout out to JetSparks373. Go subscribe to his channel for gaming content and for talking pinheads. Like was done 18 hours ago, which got 21 views, it says here. Which we made fun of old ads for Xbox Live on the original Xbox from back in the day. And also, once again, he's doing a stream on Tuesday talking about SWAT Cats, Radical Squadron, and why he loved it, or loves it. Just like Nord and I did when we were watching it when it was on TV.
Oh, yeah.
But on that note, thank you, Red Hood, for popping in. Thank you, Joshy and Nord, for being here. And do not forget, Raylos are weird. Fuck Naughty Dog. Fuck Joe Biden. Welcome to the rebellion. And Nord.
And let's go Brandon.
And we will see you guys next Sunday. Later.
Later.